Welcome to Candid Creoles, where we elevate, celebrate Haitian excellence, one candid conversation at a time with the intention of changing the narrative about Haiti and all Haitians. And tonight we have Chenet Nerette. Welcome, Chenet.
Welcome, Elizabeth. What a pleasure to be here. As a speaker, usually I'm comfortable. It seems now there's some little nerves, but I guess it's the platform. I'm glad to be here. I'd like to say hi to your great platform and to everyone who's watching us now. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being a guest, and thank you. I appreciate what you just said. Thank you so much. And I'm going to introduce you to our group. Chenet Nerette is the Chief Executive Officer and the founder of, hold on, give me a second.
You're absolutely right. You good?
Yes. And the founder, co-founder of Radio Continentale and Power 102.1 FM, Boston, Massachusetts. That's where you started. And now you're in Atlanta. And Chenet has a bachelor's of science in computer engineering technology, and also a bachelor's of science in computer science, specifically in digital media technology. Chenet is a community outreach worker who has been serving his community for the past 18 years. In that capacity, he has worked as a state liaison with local law enforcement, schools, and community organizations. Chenet is the executive director and co-founder of Radio Continentale, as we just said, and that's Power 102.1 FM, Boston, Massachusetts, and in Atlanta, Georgia, with the latest project, Haiti on Demand, which is a multimedia platform. Chenet is also hosts the Rhythm Bat from Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And one of Chenet's greatest projects was the organization of the Miss Black Beauty International pageant in Boston under the leadership of CEO Laurette Midi, which had as its primary goal the reinforcement of Black women as role models and example of grace, hard work, and dedication to the community. Chenet has hosted many huge events in the community. His latest event, he's hosting every night a 7-day cruise compa at sea about the oasis of the seas with one of Haiti's most popular band, T-Vice. And Chenet is also engaged in the management of young, talented artists in the community. He's been coaching, promoting, and networking potential artists to perform and showcase their talents in various events in the community here and abroad. And Chenet Nerette has covered and broadcasted events such as the 2012 Carnival Okai in Haiti. I was there, by the way.
The best.
That was the last Carnival I went. Carnaval des Fleurs, Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and Caribbean Festival in Atlanta, Georgia. Chenet was invited to cover the President of Haiti's second year celebration in office. And Chenet Nerette was featured in Haiti Times as one of the 7 Haitian radio personalities who are changing the game of radio broadcasting, doing a combination of radio and social network together with another host of his studio. Thank you so much. You have a long list of accomplishments, and I'm sure this is not even the whole story. So we're going to talk about the story today. I'm so glad I will get to cover all of this. How are you? How is your family doing? That's the first and most important question.
I'm well. I'm blessed. I am very thankful to be here. Let me tell you, I have this bio sitting there for so long. And I'm going back to the platform again. And I'm just as humbled to just hear you give the community a little bit of what I've been doing, because many a time that we just do what we do and they think that's what we do. So I'm well, and I'm in a good hand.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to cover your bio in more details. And so tell me a little bit about what you do. I know, and then we'll cover that. I know it's mostly you work with the radio, correct?
Yes, I am the co-founder and also a host. But besides that, I also do consultant. Right now, I am the agent who handle the communications of the Haitian consulate, and also some of the firm that I've worked. And I also work with high-profile personality handling their profile as far as being a social media expert. There's quite a few things that I do keep me busy. And although I have two daughters that's going to graduate college, I'm also a student at the world number one innovative school, ASU, that I intend to complete the computer science, digital media technology. So a proud ASU, the Sun Devils, there's nothing you can say about that. So I'm pretty busy.
Okay, so are you saying you in school now for this, the digital media technology?
Yes, actually, I complete my computer science, focusing more on database. That was when I was in Boston, talking about 18, 20 years, when I had a chance to work for one of the top hospitals in the nation, if you talk about Mass General Hospital. But now, I think it was 3 years ago, I decided with that multimedia platform that we're going to talk about, and you have to get the new knowledge. And it's been hard knowing that you are old, right? Not old, but yes, I'm a student. I'm a proud student of the ASU, and I'm looking forward to complete that degree by next fall.
That's great. So I must correct what I said, because I did say that you did have the degree in digital media technology. So I stand corrected, and Chenet is now back in college to complete this his specialty in digital media technology. So that's perfect.
You are correct, because the computer science, as it's said, there's different area you can be focusing. When I start this degree, I was focusing more on building database. But now, as you can see, these digital transformations kind of change the games. And when you think of mass communications or broadcast, it brought that digital audience. So when I find myself getting my head to get some knowledge, it's just been great. But gotta pray for the old man here. Not easy.
No, there is no such thing. You know, there is maturity. There is no such thing as old. That's my story. That's what I say. It's like you mature. It's because everything has a different stage. And tell me, so you back to school to specialize, because everything has changed from when you were in school. When it comes to media. And so what specifically are you looking into? What got you, what is it that, how is you going to implement that in your work, basically, and what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, computer, as it says, it's the binary zeros and one, right? That's what everybody is kind of coming together in different areas. And it's also the base of what we call, when you talk about technology. And broadcast, when I decided to join broadcast, it was in Boston, focusing more in traditional media, such as the low power frequency, and you can hear on the dials, or television. So as you know, technology was evolved. Probably 15 years ago, I realized this game will change, because that's the norms of every generation. And back then, it was more streaming, where I think quite few people watching me knows that there are things that we were doing that was magic. One of them was to be the one platform that has 18 studio global. And people were everywhere sitting in there on computer, using IP address, and be able to take their audio and do it. So back then, that's what I was doing in the morning, kind of getting people to hear on their device, because it's traditional radio frequency or traditional TV. And then now, when you're able to listen via a stream, it was magic. That's bring the gadget, your cell phone, or whichever stream that you may have. But over the past 5 years, as you can see, the change that bring these digital transformations bring the new media. Because right now we are doing traditional TV, but at the same time, if we pass on a stream, they will see it. It's called new media. And now everybody is journalism. So that's when I said, I don't think that technology you have will really help what you're trying to do for your own country. So you will require this knowledge. And I think 3 years ago when I decided, I said, wow, we are missing a whole lot to understand the concepts of media, what it represents. It is the fourth power. When you take the three branches and put a media, kind of be able to educate and inform. And here we go now. I think I have enough knowledge. I've been taking a lot of classes with the new game that's changed the way we interact with each other. And I'm sure you will allow me to introduce it later on. Haiti On Demand will be the multimedia platform to be able to bring that Haitian's culture in and be able to promote it and sell it. So that's what really getting me to it.
We're definitely going to talk about Haiti On Demand because that's something else that's part of what you do. So that's very interesting. And before we go to the next subject, I always like to ask my guests, our guests, because I said this platform is not mine, it's our platform. And so were you born and raised in Haiti? I like to know where people come from, or if they were born and raised in Haiti, or if they were Haitian descent.
I was born in Haiti. Now, finally, the world's going to know my age. Hello. Yeah, I was born in this little beautiful town that everybody should know because you don't travel nowhere without going to Maigate. By the way, that land was for my parents' heritage when Duvalier decided to just scatter all these mangoes or cane sugar, and which is good for the city. But again, still didn't get paid for that. Let me just say that. I was born right there, Maigate. If you know Kafu Jimenez, and my dad from Jacmel, and my mom who's rest in peace, from Okap. So you can see the north and the south in Port-au-Prince. So
the north and south mad.
And then I came here in 1989. I think I was about 22 years old. 1 year after I finished my baccalaureate day, which is philosophy, which was a good program. And from there, I landed myself my dad brought me to Boston, and that's where the whole career started. From Boston, I was able to go to UMass Boston, and I graduated in Boston with my first degree, bachelor degree. And with Boston, that's where it all started. I worked for Governor Well, and here we go. Chenet Nerette now extending his network. I didn't leave Boston. Don't keep me out in Boston. But it has been 16 years with that transitions, but I still kind of keep the focus of building what we call a bridge. What I mean by that is if you're from Miami, they want to keep you in Miami. And because it's the concept of decentralization that's never happened in Haiti, because those in Port-au-Prince said they are from Port-au-Prince, those in Okap. No, we are one. So that's where we're building that network and said, you know what, we're going to bridge these two and we're going to bridge Miami. And here we go. If you ask me, those people, sometimes they said, I'm not from Atlanta. I'm not from Boston. I don't know where I'm from. Find me a place.
Well, I definitely understand. So you still broadcasting in Boston and in Atlanta.
Correct.
But you currently reside in Atlanta.
My heart is in Boston. My body is in Atlanta. Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that because they kick me out.
Okay, so you go back. Okay, I understand. That I get it. Okay, so you also mentioned something that I want to make sure that we cover. You mentioned the Miss Black Beauty International Pageant in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us more about that.
Yes. Thinking of being Haitians and have mothers and sisters, and I know what you all go through. It was such an inspiration for me to think that you guys probably are the best leadership. And tell those guys again, don't kick me out because I may get a home here because I'm going to give it all to you all, the good work. And my thinking as I was growing up and really building myself, and I said, wait a minute, what can I do to kind of show how you all deserve the support? And I was young, really. I didn't think of that. And I think the first project, with first credit to Miss Midi, she's from Montreal, and then she came with that concept. I said, well, we have some beautiful and smart young women here. But keep in mind, the visions of our radio station is the bridge of diversity, not just diversity among the Jamaican or the Haitians and the Trinidadian. As I said, even amongst us, there is a big gap when you think of women. For example, I said women or men or people in Okap talk Ake, but people in other towns talk Mpe. whatever it be from Jeremy. But at this point, it's time to kind of build something that we all can drive in. And that was the concept. I said, you know what, let me test, me take that project and pick every single one Black woman. What we define in that protocol, if your mom is Black and your dad is white and you're white, you were Black for us. So we said, we're not just going to do it Haitian, because that was the same format for our radio station. We bring the Jamaicans together, we bring the Trinidadians together, we bring the Bajans together. We said, let's bring our young Black women. It was the movement that started off, where we have competitions of all of them. They have to be 18 and 23. And also they don't have no kids or married. So this was really the movement. As a matter of fact, I think the first year the Haitians stopped the Trinidad. So I had 19 as a young man myself, 19 young Haitians, not just Haitians, the Jamaican. That's where it all started. I can tell you, this is a program that we don't continue. Probably we haven't continued the past 2 years. But the last time I was in Canada, it's also happened in Canada, where a Jamaican won the pageant. So that kind of to show support in a way that we can all do the best to kind of elevate women. And as a matter of fact, right now, I'm so glad for you all. You guys don't even need none of us. And I'm just so glad. But this is something that we strive. This is something that we've done on the radio station. We have more than 20 radio stations with big names that came across, Mia Lopez, Martin Jean. Same concept of the pageant is the same in the air, because we believe we can coexist.
I get that. So for the past 2 years, they have not done it. Well, last year with COVID, nothing was happening really. Everything got canceled. But the year before, they didn't do it as well. So you think they're going to start it over again once COVID is completely gone? It will be gone soon.
It should. I say, why not? I think we need to really support our young women, our young entrepreneurs. So, by the way, the statistics proven today is that there are more CEOs where you all are really doing more. That's what I'm trying to keep on. I'm encouraging my guys too. We cannot just sit there with the bachelor. We have to further our educations, because they are spending more time in school, more leadership roles. Here we go. I am in Candid. It's a Candid conversation. Shout out for you all women.
Well, we women, thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. And we have a lot of women, more and more women in leadership roles, whether in different organizations or they're starting their own businesses. So which is, and even in our culture also of the Haitian culture as well. So that is really great to see. That is really.
By the way, even right now, I am handling all publicists for the First Lady in Atlanta, which is Madame Woodley Nogajan. She's the head of the Haitian consulates. All that you see, I'm putting my work behind it, and I'm proud.
That's great. That's great. Well, you definitely have. You keep your. You got a lot in your hands. You got a lot in your hands. So I want to make sure that I hold on 1 second. I had a window open. I'm looking in this section here because I had a window open of something that I wanted to ask you, and I want to make sure I got it on the screen, and it's gone. It was right there, and it's gone. Let me pull it quickly. And we're going to talk about also what you said you do also on the 7-day cruise, Compa at Sea. That is something that's like overnight, 7-day cruise. And where do you guys go when you do it? And that was before COVID?
That was before COVID. I think I have to give credit to another powerful lady that I've worked, Miss. I think her alias is Rena Jurel, Miss Richette. It's a conception that she had that we really need, because the way we handle our entertainment, it's kind of it's not open, because we do pretty much bal. And when I was invited by this concept, I think it was just great to think of those who work hard and be able to go on the leisure, on the trip, and bring a band while they were having. Of course, you're talking about the top royal, whatever that ship was. So that when I experienced with that movement, which was such a genuine movement, bringing device, and we have the families and friends coming. We're gonna do, let's say, 3-4 or place location, end up going to Labadie, or you went to Jamaica. So it was such a great movement. I think we've done it a couple of times, but it's kind of slowed down because I think everybody was trying to do the same things. But I think that's something I shall encourage as part of our entertainment, to know that we can take our Compa to sea, Compa at sea. It was working very well.
Yeah, Compa at Sea. I like the name, Compa at Sea. Yeah, that's really good. So it's like Let's Dance, because that's what we do.
For 1 week, you know.
Yeah,
you wake
it's
up,
fun.
You get your food, they serve you, just
and you have
yourself.
fun. And you have fun. You have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say pimp it yourself. If you can do it, pimp it yourself. It's a good way.
So to regarding the digital media technology and also computer science, what influenced you to choose that field when you started, and then to get into radio? What influenced you there as well?
When I left Haiti, I was always into researching and doing things. And keep in mind, when you said 1989, I have to spend 4 years in college, and technology was not evolved because we were still coming from the old ways. And then being here in 1989, that's where internet came, right? Internet came just for that, for all of us to kind of deepen and make sure that we can work together. When I was taking the class, I remember doing experience. I had an idea to go to electricity, but I liked the concept of zeros and one, because that's what create computer. When you think of binary, right? Zeros and one, or digit. And I figured that something will be there. And actually, that's exactly what happened. Either if you want to think different language, you do a script, you still going back to computer, which is made by zeros and one. And at that point, I didn't know exactly which area that I wanted to kind of focus. But when I get my first job in Boston, which was system administrator to a big hospital, St. Elizabeth Hospital, I traveled to learn a system database and be able to go back to the hospital and implemented that system. And at that point, I kind of get a feeling how to build those layers and kind of work on the database. And from there, I went to Mass General Hospital, which is exactly another big hospital that focused more. That was the radiology department. Again, I can see the communication between one system to another system, from talk station to the PAC system. And it's kind of give me with my management the feel of that computer. But now, how do I get to this digital media technology? The passion for radio. We're doing great work on the dial or Power 102 FM, the low frequency, the streaming. And I see that digital will change. And as you know, the past 5-7 years, with the integration of video, that's changed. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to need to kind of concentrate. So it come easy because I had already graduated in computer science. And when I get into that programs, all I needed from that 120 credit was another 40 credits. So I've been thinking, I think I am just at 99%. So I'm looking forward.
So you have the radio, and you also are a consultant, a business consultant as well. You mentioned that.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So okay.
I work with people if they have the jobs like network, system networking, and system administrations, and data analysts, and all of that. I've worked with as a consultant, and if there is job for me out there, I've been able to do that. And while I'm doing that, I was mainly focused on building the Power 102. That's where I spend most of my time. But right now, as you can see, Haiti on Demand, which we're going to talk about, it's pretty much ready. I'm in the studio. I am on the TV side. The other day, we were talking on the audio side. So I'm sure that's something that I believe will help a whole lot, not just me, you, but really a lot of things that is in the broadcast that we never focus. For example, the entertainment business, which is a big business that we never address it the way we should address it. Another area also that we need to talk about is tourism. For example, here in the United States, we know the number one industry that brings the most of the money is sports and tourism. How does this two come by? Why we never talk about tax and tourism? And other things such as the movie. As you can see, since the last time DVD we don't have DVD no more, nobody talk about movie because they don't know where to get it. There's something called long tail. Long tail is the concept of Netflix. Everybody sitting here, why don't we feed them with those episodes? All of them is going to require that discipline. And of course, as a science and digital audience, I think I'm ready to bring whatever we needed to do in the table, and hopefully some people will join. If it's not for me, I can say the same word with same word with mentally taking. It will be 40 years for somebody that deserves it, just like Obama becomes. So that's what we need to start focusing in. And I can see this project is taking its tail. So we're looking forward to bring those change.
So when you say you're focusing on movies right now?
Oh, but the platform itself has built.
Sorry to interrupt. So let's go to that's part of Haiti on Demand, right?
Everything Haiti is Haiti on Demand.
Okay.
When you said he's Haiti on Demand, the name is sounds.
So let's switch to that. Let's get to that.
Haiti on Demand en français, Haiti sur la demande. We ask for Haiti everywhere. What is Haiti? Haiti is a country that's created culture that can identify you and I and everybody's watching, right? Those area of, for example, agriculture, right? Whatever we have in agriculture, although everybody thinks about HMI, it's an industry. So therefore, there should be a way that we promote whatever is in the agriculture. If you want to think about music, it's entertainment. There's a way to promote the music. It's Haitian. If you want to think about movies, for example, this area itself, tourism, sport. So you said Haiti on Demand, and then, little Creole. Fraction, énumérateur, dénominateur commun. So, dénominateur commun, anything Haiti we promote. So, the main goal is to come here and using a multimedia platform and then be able to promote it first. We got to promote it. We promote what is mango, what is in the mango. We promote what is in Haitian good cuisine that we don't promote just only going to Haitian cuisine. We're talking about tourism. So, as you can see, people are posting a lot of things that go on in Haiti. I don't have that time. I have time to post a mango. See, as you promote it, now, because it's an e-commerce, it's become a business, and that's a Haiti on Demand, we will be able to sell it. So keep in mind, when we talk about long tail, so it will happen when everybody take one little mangoes and we have 1 million who share it or who buy it, that's $1 million. Think of this. Saturday, I support an entertainment business that I went to support, and it went viral. Guess who was that? It's the princess, Georgie Mettelis, that everybody forget about. And then here you come, understanding and have the technology and knows how to use it. It's not on a page that it went viral. It's on a personal page, more than 35,000 views, sitting by itself and go viral, more than 1,000 share, more than 1,000 comment. Guess what? Now they already start calling for Georgie, right? So that's the mindset of promoting it right. Again, I said to Nick and Son Freedom, if everybody's singing Chéri Jérim, right? It's a song. How many people that consume that music? 3.5 million that has access. If they can sing it, they can buy it, right? So instead of having one album for 70,000, why don't we promote one song and make sure that we sell it to this platform? Now you have $3.5 million. We're creating jobs, we're changing lives. So all of this is really the concept of saying this platform is for us. It's not for me, it's for us. We're going to do it just like we are spending time. We see all the influencers and getting this. Let's promote to our mainstream because we don't have a mainstream. That's where we are.
To go with the music, that's actually how I want to say iTunes started, like, just by promoting one song. It's like, because how I remember growing up, you would have those albums, right? Mm-hmm. And you may like one song of the whole album.
That's
but
all
you have
need.
to purchase the song. You have to purchase the whole thing in order for you to listen to one song over and over and over. So yeah, when that idea started, and that's basically what's got us to where we are today with iTunes, with the music that we have today. It's like, and now like that transferred to Pandora, you have Spotify. It's like, it's just, it's like a domino effect, really.
It is. And I'm going to give you an example. We have a lot of problems. That's what I said. Because I'm here, I may not be able to see it. That's how we do it. We bring flowers after death. We say, okay, now he's not there. He means well. We haven't launched the whole concept. Do you know right now you can go to the site and Haiti on Demand? You can purchase a song. Let's say now all those musicians and say Chenet's been working hard he built this platform instead of going to iTunes because they are downloading the music there and bring it there. You see, I'm talking about the real change that we all need to make that effort if we really bring that culture together to bring that change. It's a long process. And the good things about me, because it's not for me, I'm not interested if somebody call it failure, because I know by the time we complete this in the next 5-10 years, Haiti will be on a better map.
What's the website that, because we want to make sure like whatever you mentioned, we're going to post it down right here below on that page. So what's the website for Haiti On Demand? I know I have the website for the radio station. And is the website on Haiti On Demand? What's the website?
Haiti On Demand is its own. I mean, actually, Haiti On Demand is Power 102 is the grandfather of Haiti On Demand. As generations change. By the way, we were Radio Continentale. So when we were on the dial and still on the dial, low power. And 10 years ago, we know streaming was coming. We switched to Power 102. Now, because we are focusing 100% Haitian, we have it Haiti On Demand, as it's spelled, HaitiOnDemand.com. So this site, I don't promote it that much yet because it's not as user-friendly because I'm working with GoDaddy to kind of revamp within a year, but they will be able to see it as we are talking right now, HaitiOnDemand.com.
So now that where else can they find information about it since the site is not fully functional yet?
It's functional.
It's functional. Okay.
It's not friendly.
Okay, it's not user friendly. Okay. So okay.
For now.
Perfect. For now, you're working on it. It. That's great. So you are, and I'm sure you are on all the social media channels as well. I'm certain of that, right? You're on
By
Facebook?
the way, that's where we need to focus more because it's all about research. It's all about sentiment. Call it in that study. It's all about research. It's all about how you get this great platform that you have. For example, 10 years ago, when you were thinking of mass communications or promotion-wise, you needed 75% of all traditional media, which is radio, television, and you needed back then 25% of your promo on social media is the flipped. Right now, you have to get 75% of your good promo to be in to get a good return into your what we call the WA. But that doesn't mean that TV and radio is gonna go. They're gonna go because last week I had a chance to be lectured by New York Times executive director Dan Packworth. We need to talk about the new journalism, which is what you're doing. It's coming. It's challenging. It's a competition between the traditional media of how we're doing it versus to this new media concept. So I'm sure when this project finish, and of course with that degree, that we'll be able to do different workshops and kind of bring the new guns, which is the Gen Zers. I think they are 22 years old. We haven't even figured out yet in our community how we can let them lead us. So all of this coming, and I'm sure Haiti On Demand will recruit. By the way, I have my top web administrator who I flew from Miami 2 weeks ago that's going to be signing to be doing this kind of work for me. So let's get them involved.
When you say it's been 22 years, and I want to make sure I heard you correctly, we haven't figured out who can lead us. Is that what you just said?
No, I said the 22 years old, the Gen Zers, the last generations. Because now it's a subject that we can bring at some time called the generational gap. Because those in these, the Gen X, I am Gen X, I'm bringing in the 70s and the 80s. And then here come the millennials that comes in the 90s. They're already in their 30, 40 years old. And when you think about generational gap that we never mentioned, it's create that confusion because we don't do that transition, meaning you don't see those young age coming and take over, bringing their own flavor, which is a problem that we have in music. So now that generational gap that we mentioned is in any country, in any culture, which is the last generation of the centennial, because I just say, if we are on Z, that's the last generation of 100 years. And the next time we're going to start Alpha again. And they are coming with their own brand. By the way, they will change their workflow. So they have their own mind. They believe they have
every generation. Yes, I would say every generation comes with their own
flavor.
Their own flavor, their own culture.
Yes.
And it changes. Like I would say, like my generation is different than my parents' generation, and we bring a different flavor, to use your word, a different flavor to this world and to where we lead our world, how we lead our world as well. Because I know how I lead my world is not how my parent would lead, or like me. They two completely different. And my children are also, I can already see that with my kids, and they are bringing their own way of seeing things, their own meaning to life, and their own activities that will be different than what activities I would have proposed for them to do in different ways, whatever their field may be, whether it's in a personal way, personal life, or whether it's in their business life or career. So it's things always progress as we grow and as new generation bring a new thought to life.
But when we think of culture, it doesn't happen for us. And for example, in the music, I can take the music by the creator. I would like to give him all the credit, Nemo Jean-Baptiste. It's come with a rhythm called compa that dance in a certain way, and those equipment they were using it's not the same as this new equipment. As of today, the top band, women, the top band, and no other group can come up with a new flavor. I can keep Nemo Jean-Baptiste and let them do something, just like it's done for R&B and rap. It's not Tupac times. It's not Jay-Z time. It's all of this flavor. When we think of that gap, or I'm talking about music, anything, it's still the same oldies, and those generations never get into the food of the table. I'm not even talking about politics.
I'm going to say something different there. I am familiar with Nemo Jean-Baptiste, although not 100%. But I would say the music that is being played, or at least my generation played, is completely different. Not completely. It's different than what Nemo Jean-Baptiste or Siko, right? Siko would play. So I would say the genre has changed, because if you're listening to a Zen, or if you're listening, that's my generation. If you're listening to even Top Vice, they don't play like Nemo. They have changed the rhythm. Wouldn't you agree to that?
Somewhat, I'm gonna say, because that's what I do. I kind of talk about music and generational gap and flavor. It's remained, but it's the same. It's the same. If this is what make compa, you bring Nemo Jean-Baptiste that play more up tempo, compa, 1, 2, and you bring Nemo Jean-Baptiste. He brought something else called cadence compa that is more zouk flavor, more accolade. Like your parents used to dance bolero. That's gone. You know what bolero means?
Yeah.
Makipa, right? So now, when I'm talking about the next, 57 years, which group dominating? What? Zengler or Tropicana? Tropicana is good for what they do. I'm talking about bringing a concept of keeping the rhythm and bring that flavor. By the way, I've learned it at ASU. And I can see why it's saturated, because they have not been getting the free way to go. Another problem we have, the band that's been dominated for the past 20 years, they get paid the same money. So if new look class don't go up, you can tell me next 30 years is going to be the same.
I see what you mean. Although the rhythm has changed, but you're saying it has not evolved.
Yes.
It has not evolved to bring a different way of seeing the music of Haiti.
I'm going to give you an example. If you go to the post that goes viral, by the way, when it goes viral, it's contagious. That's what I love, because it came through that channel. And as an interactive coverage, as you can see, folks just stay in front of the artist and doing it. You know what we brought last weekend? What Georgie used to do. She is an entertainer. She will make move. So those flavor, I can see Saturday that it's saying this is what we needed to do. This is the way it needs to do. So it's not like 40 years ago we want Georgie to win on the top. By the way, I don't even think she has the respect that we are talking about that she deserves. She is a diva. So we're talking about different generations with different flavor. Be allowed to do it. Promoters, for example, those young group, bring them. I heard quite few of them. I already said the problem is because Class and New Look still get paid $6,000. No promoter will ever pay them more, and therefore they cannot survive. Because coming to Atlanta, if you're not Class, you don't even that money is not enough. So Class supposed to be in the $25,000-$30,000 to be allowed to see that scales and grow. But guess what? It's part of our promotion, and this is where Haiti on Demand is going to come. Different activities. We're talking about the sea, at sea. We're talking about festival is not a bar. We're talking about bringing the young generations. They don't follow us. They don't spend the money in our nightclub.
So what's your plan? What's your plan to capture that market? Because obviously what I'm hearing you say is they are not being promoted. Their events, or they're not getting paid enough because things have not changed from, I don't know, the taboo combo time. I would say, I know you said Nemuja Baptiste, and I have no idea how much those people get paid. No idea, because I'm not in that world, so I don't know. I am not somebody who go to bal. Maybe once in a while. If I don't even know when was the last time I went last. I think actually I remember when was the last time I went for a fundraiser. That's different. So I don't know much about that world, but that's definitely an interest. It's I would love to see how can you get that market to raise the bar, which is what I'm hearing you say, right?
Yeah, it's not a one platform. It's not a one host. There's different mechanisms that we needed to do, different layers. For example, even when it comes to media, I'm gonna insist that if we really want to have a career in it, we have to go and learn it. There's something called entertainment journalism. By the way, look at that. At 7 o'clock, that's where I needed to be on the panel to have the number one radio host. I'm choosing your platform because that's the event for my school. They're going to talk about how the Latino community comes. It's evolved so much. The management, the PR, the production, all of this going to need to take a step. So to do it, you need to have someone that can initiate it. It's going to be workshops. It's going to be panel of discussion. See, that's the movement of the African Afrobeat. When they started 10 years ago, nobody didn't know much about the Azonto. But guess what? They are on BET. So not just BET. So those movements start with choreograph, with movement. It's a movement. But we have to start somewhere. As you can see, it may not be my time. But I think once we start channel those directions, everything will fit in place. And the good thing that we have is this new technology, this new digital transformation, when it goes viral, can bring everybody together, which is what I believe that we're going to need to start focusing.
So, so your platform, Haiti on Demand, is looking into giving, opening the doors for this.
Elevate, yes.
To elevate, to go to the next, to raise the bar, like I said earlier.
Yes,
that's basically what the plan is for your platform.
Yes, that's the platform.
Okay, so music. I mean, and like you said, everything Haiti, but right now we're just talking about the music. So we're just talking about the music, but it's about everything Haiti. And I see what you're saying. It's like, why isn't Haitian music on BET, right? Mm-hmm. Why? And I remember one time I did see, I don't know which event it was. I don't know if it was in WCP. They had Taboo Combo there. I know it was an American event. Oh, I remember. It was after the earthquake. So that got the attention of the world, of course. Yes. And then they did have an event. I think there was a fundraiser.
We've been in BET, don't take me wrong. Wyclef took a lot of them.
But Wyclef doesn't play Haitian music.
But he brought some of them. He
brings a flavor. He brings a flavor. Yes.
Yeah.
Because Wyclef is one of us, but it doesn't play compa. He just brings the flavor.
I'm just telling you, they said, "Ufe BT deja." That's when was like Clef brought them to play some conga. Anyway, but you know what I'm talking about. So this is not a personal conversation where, oh, this is the giants. It takes all of us, just like a kids. It takes a village. If we also care about our culture, don't take me wrong. We love Haiti, but we just don't know how to take care of that wonderful lady. The only country on earth that I know that has a name called Cherie. And when you say Cherie, you say cherish. The only country. But yet, if you look at that poor lady, that is my mother, that is your mother, and we need to know that we are one. And we are one. I'm sure you give me that platform to talk about Haiti on demand. By the time it's there, you're going to say, yes, I was on that one candid conversation. That's the hope.
That is a fascinating conversation. But the clock is ticking. So I'm going to switch to the group. Okay. Every guest that I have, I always like to ask them what are their thoughts about the group, because as you know, the group is to elevate and celebrate Haitian excellence and friends with the ultimate goal of changing the narrative about Haiti. And like today, I saw a post on Facebook that I rarely look at those, but I was curious to look at the comments, and then there were some people who basically gave up on Haiti. And that's not the idea here. Is if we keep saying give up, then we give up. Then once you give up, then that's it. There's nothing else. Talk about it. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else. So you can't say that. Instead, I'm looking at the post. I mean, I didn't respond to any because sometimes you just have to keep scrolling. And I just said, oh my gosh, like if they could only change that thought and said, okay, this is what it is today. What can be done differently to solve one thing at a time? What can I do, or what idea can we come up? Because it's everything can change. Oh, that come to mind. My son is currently reading the biography of Nelson Mandela, and every day he has to text me what he learned and stuff like that. And I want to share something that he said, I think yesterday. He hasn't texted me yet tonight. He said, what I learned from Mandela is that eventually things will change. Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I said, oh my gosh, there is hope for Haiti. I know I have hope, but when you think of Mandela, Nelson Mandela, somebody who was in prison for 27 years and then became president of the country that where he was fighting those people who were back in the days were in power, and they put him in jail. And what I like with him when he became president, he did not dismiss any of those people. He did not. So, and I think that's the humility that comes from a great leader. You know, that's something that when I'm looking at those posts and I'm saying, people are saying, oh, there is no hope, forget about this, don't go there. It's like, if Nelson Mandela had given up, what would have happened to South Africa? He would have never become president. He would have rotten in jail instead.
If Martin Luther King didn't take the step to bring the million march or go to Alabama, we would have never got.
Where would we be today?
There will never be an Obama. There will never be Kamala Harris. So those are the things that we're gonna need to focus. It may not be the result that I need, but it will be for my children and your children.
Yes, and that's the goal of this platform here that we have, is to change. And I said we start with us, because if we are the one perpetrating the thought about Haiti will never get better, how can we expect the world to think better of us?
And we still love Haiti. I don't understand sometimes.
Well, we say we love it, but we also say we give up on it. So it doesn't align. It doesn't align at all. So when I was reading those posts, I was thinking, it's the change that must happen definitely has to come from us first. And what can this group do to continue to influence that change, because that's the goal.
Yeah, I'm gonna add one thing, but before I have to send my biggest shout out, because if that wasn't for that wonderful lady, our friend Marie Evangelique Russell, I would never. I think we met 2012. She didn't know, and here we are today. Not just being able to be a guest, I'm frequently visiting the page to see. Thanks God, reason why it's because the communication, which is key to develop society, to build society, no perdu, it got lost because everybody say anything they wanted to say without a fact check, without a background. We are inspector, we are judge, we are lawyers, and if you ask, wait a minute, what you saying? Where do you get it? So when I found myself and spending time, I can see dream there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to add something with the dream that I kind of foresee the way it's moving. Because one thing, and you already know, because I are in groups, is we are focused on the bubble. And we think it's when the post has 10,000 views. No, you don't want to get into that bubble. You want to build that bubble, which is your philosophy that I kind of like bring those together. And very soon we will see that transformation. When I think about dream, I'll put this way. If you have a dream, you don't have goal, it's like a dead end. As we're coming every day to dreams of the next excellence, the next, let's create a goal. And the goal could be as simple. I'm learning your platform. You're learning my platform. We need to create that shed mayon. And very soon, no kabwed men. So that's my hope. And one thing that you probably can tell, if some of them saw me, I don't spend time because I don't have control of what's going on in Haiti. I am not here for eternal life. So every day that we come here and we blah, 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 and when you come back 10 years, you're going to be blah, 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 because it doesn't move. Instead, I'm focusing more on the positive side. Every day, what is that inspiration that I can get? If somebody said, Chenet, thank you for giving that inspiration, because it creates that synergy for the next day, and which is what we really need right now. And my hope is we will realize we are wasting time. We are wasting time. Either you think you have the biggest group, either you get the biggest views, until we start moving the dice, until we start moving the needles, until we said, I'm not just talking here, I'm going to Haiti. Let me head a foundation. Let me go and create a workshop. Let me visit the community that I came from and see if I can pay school, at least for one. This is what the real change is all about. Not being an expert. It's never me. I'm never out about it. My next talk tomorrow is going to be maybe a beautiful post you make. Maybe come with this purement go. Maybe it's sightseeing. Putting those caoutchouc, putting those tigre, you are not contributing.
We do have a lot of people doing great things in Haiti. We've had some people on this platform. Like, I love when I found people to post about that or doing great things in Haiti. So that's really great. So I want to make sure we wrap up on time. So I'm going to ask you, where do you see yourself, if you could tell us briefly, where do you see yourself with Haiti On Demand in the future?
I'm excited. As I have to say thanks to God. Somebody said it, when you've been putting the time and you stay obedient, things will happen. God has been good to me. Very good. I'm saying it, I'm getting butterfly. Just the fact that I'm able to sustain and to be in your platform, just because I can share with you my bio, it sounds. And then now to think that with my age, my two daughters, 23-year-old, 21-year-old. The 21-year-old studying chemistry, 4 years. She's going to graduate at 21 at KSU. And my older daughter, Chenzi, she is going to be a teacher. And you see how the old men going to stand on a podium to receive a degree. So I did it once for them because it's a way to empower them, to say, if Dad can do it at this age, you can do it. But more also is the knowledge that I'm getting. It's been such a great atmosphere for me to think that I'm on the right track. I'm learning the materials. I know I'm doing it right. Of course, when you talk about ASU, the number one innovative school, be able to lecture by editorial New York Times, Dan Parkway, TMZ producer, Miss Dominic, was giving me a lecture, the #1 show. So it's really giving me the tools to think that I'm on the right track. But again, this project is a 10 years project to really top the millions. But
That's
don't
great.
wait for the 10 years. We need to start getting one
You
here.
start today.
We start today.
start
So
today.
hopefully we will see the top mountain. It's a good
Yes,
climb.
I may not be there with you like Martin
Yeah,
Luther
one
King said.
day.
I've seen the top of the mountain.
Yes.
I
But
may not
one
reach
day,
it. Yes, one day. That
and
was his last
42 years.
speech.
40
was his
years
last
Obama
speech.
came. Yes,
Yes.
that's. But I'm really very, very grateful for your platform. Like I said, another thing I can say as a message is, we don't need to do the same thing, because when we all doing the same things and reaching the same point, we clash all the time. Okay, our heads. There's many things we can do and still come together. I don't need to repeat what you do. You see what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if we're thinking of Haiti and culture, do you know how many things? Right now, I can see 90% on social media is politics. Let the politics alone. Let's just go learn and do the little things and bring that our pitch. That keep that Haiti going. And
Everybody
that's
has their Everyone has their own thing they want to cover, definitely. So we have 2 minutes left. I want to ask you 2 questions that only require one word answer. So what's your one word to describe life?
Life itself. Life.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Without life, there's nothing.
And what's your one word to describe Haiti?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Haiti was named Haiti Chérie not for one reason, La Perle des Antilles. All that's going on, the country is still beautiful. Yes. We just need to go back home and cherish that. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. And we can make a change from where we are.
Yeah, and we know we can bring that beautiful soul, just like this genuine conversation.
Yes.
I don't have to hate you. We are brothers and sisters. It's not color of the skin. It's not the height. We are Haitian. L'union fait la force. It's beautiful.
That's our motto, and we have to remember that. I don't think we always remember that. So lastly, we have 1 minute advice for Haitian. What can you tell me just in a few words? Especially those living in Haiti who are right there on living the life that's not making them happy right now. What would you say to them shortly?
It's hard. They said that si c'est pas au clair, if this is not you in that middle of that water that you're gonna sinking. It's just hard. But I just want to go back to what your son emailed you that referred to Mandela. It's hope. Just like if they believe, if you said Haiti is not gonna change, okay, you're not Haitian. Go. It's not for you no more. But when you have hope, that's what keeps you going. But you cannot have hope if you don't have discipline.
Beautiful.
By the way, let me testify. When I decided to change my circle, I was the big radio host, 4 hours, and I realized it's gonna give me the same result. So I have hope that by changing the way I do things, I will tell you that God works on me. And yes, true. Trust me, it's heartfelt to think that you can tell somebody in Haiti hope, but that's the only thing we have.
Hope. On that word, we're going to wrap it up.
Thank you for your time.
The one thing that we have is hope, because like Mandela says, things will change. And I want to thank you very much for this opportunity to sit down with you. We're over time, and I'm going to wrap it up fast. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching Candid Creoles, where we celebrate Haitian excellence and friends. And today we had a friend with us, and it's a great conversation, which is why we went over time. We could talk for hours, right? So thank you again, Chenet, and I appreciate your time, and we'll have to continue that another time. Thank you.
Allow me to do this. I always want to make sure that I do this, because you don't spend an hour to think you're perfect. but every single answer is come from heart. So if I said anything that offended you, I'm thinking about the audience. It's never in the way. I really want to create the time. I think that there's a lot of positive things. If there are things that you probably don't understand, hit me up with my page. Well, Women Well. I think you have one of the greatest platform. Let me say that, because I don't think for my 11, 12 years I've been here, that I ever come to a platform that I will feel humanly speaking. And this candid conversation, I'm sure it will help you change. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're going to post the website right here. And this is Candid Creole.
Well, but forget, hit me up on Instagram, Haiti on Demand. Hit me up on Twitter, Haiti on Demand. Hit me up on Facebook, Haiti on Demand. Hit me up on LinkedIn, Haiti on Demand. You can go on, Pinterest.
And post them all. Post them all here too, at the bottom of this video.
Well, thank you. I'm grateful for your platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.